Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I'd like to thank you for all your years of support through the years. As a result, this channel has grown and allowed me an equity partnership in carmarshal.com. Please take the time to check them out. They help you buy and sell your next car, even have a negotiating tool to save you from the hassle of haggling with multiple dealers. The link is in the description below. Please click and help support and give if you can too through PayPal or Patreon. Thanks again.
Ukraine security services say that a Russian journalist will be forcibly deported from their country. 29-year-old Anna Kurbatova, who works for Russia's Channel 1 and is based in Kiev, had received threats because of her work. Well, for more on this story, I'm now joined live by RT's Medina Kochnova. Well, Medina, what more can you tell me about what's been happening?
Well, the Ukraine security services released a statement, and according to it, the Russian journalist Anna Kurbatova will be deported back to Russia. Now, at the moment, her documents are being processed for her official deportation. Now, earlier today, Russian Channel 1 said that their reporter, Anna, was taken right in the streets by a group of unknown men and put in a car. All contact with her was lost, and the channel had no information regarding her whereabouts. Now, Ukraine security services claim that everything that was done according to the law, and in a statement that was released today, it was also added that this, meaning deportation, will happen to every single person who they see as someone smearing Ukraine. So basically everyone whose position they do not agree with. Now, Anna Kurbatova was born in the southern Russian city of Stavropol, and her last 7 reports that were aired on Channel 1 were on the current situation in Ukraine. Now, it was also revealed that soon before she was detained, she received threats, and just a few days earlier to that, her name was added to the public blacklist on a website which is called Peacekeeper, which is a Ukrainian nationalist website which accused her of biased reporting and also of being anti-Ukrainian propagandist. Now, her last report was on a military parade that took place in Ukraine and was dedicated to the celebration of the country's Independence Day. Now, regarding this current situation, RT has requested 10 international organizations for comment. Now, we do expect to hear something from International Media Support, from Center for Freedom of the Media, from the International Federation of Journalists. So it is still a developing story in terms of feedback, in terms of some reaction on what happened today in Ukraine. So I'm sure we'll get back to you.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have some response. Medina Kochnova, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
US-backed neo-Nazis kidnap journalist in broad daylight for reporting on government corruption. The kidnapping and deportation of a journalist in Ukraine exposes the extreme lack of democratic values in the US-backed neo-Nazi regime. By J. Sermopoulos, September 1, 2017. Kiev, Ukraine, in yet another glaring example of the lack of democratic values present within the US-backed neo-Nazi Ukrainian puppet government, Anna Kurbatova, a reporter for Russia's Channel 1, was kidnapped off the streets of Kiev in broad daylight by Ukrainian security services. The journalist was then forcefully deported from Ukraine and barred from entering the country for 3 years for smearing the Ukrainian government, according to a security service spokesman. Kurbatova was grabbed by unknown assailants, forced into a car and driven away, according to a Channel 1 spokesperson. Russia was quick to condemn the actions of the US-backed Ukrainian neo-Nazi government, as the Russian Foreign Ministry noted that they are closely monitoring the situation. At the moment we don't have information, but, undoubtedly, we'll do our best to clarify the situation, Russian presidential spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters. The abduction of the Channel 1 journalist Anna Kurbatova in Kiev on August 30 and her compulsory deportation to Russia is clearly not an accidental occurrence, but a deliberate provocation launched by the Ukrainian law enforcement and nationalist radicals, the Russian Foreign Ministry's Information and Press Department said in a statement. Additionally, the Russian Foreign Ministry pleaded with international human rights organizations to closely monitor the repressive state of freedom of the press in Ukraine. Advertisement. We draw the attention of international human rights organizations and other structures, designed to protect freedom and independence of the media, to the disgraceful attitude towards journalists in Ukraine. We hope for their appropriate response and practical steps regarding the outrageous actions of the Kiev authorities. According to international human rights organization, Human Rights Watch. In just over a month, the Security Services of Ukraine, SBU, have expelled or denied entry to at least 5 foreign journalists, 3 from Russia and 2 from Spain, for allegedly engaging in anti-Ukrainian propaganda. The Ukrainian government's practice of accusing journalists of anti-Ukraine bias, then expelling them or denying them entry, is a serious violation of its international human rights commitments, said Tanya Cooper, Ukraine researcher at Human Rights Watch. Barring journalists is short-sighted and vindictive, and undermines Ukraine's pledges on democratic reforms and the rule of law. Mind you, the term neo-Nazi, when referring to the Ukrainian regime, is not a simple euphemism, but an actual assessment of belief systems. The BBC gave a nuanced look at the phenomena of neo-Nazis within the Ukrainian government. This hypersensitivity and stonewalling were on full display after President Petro Poroshenko presented a Ukrainian passport to someone who, according to human rights activists, is a Belarusian neo-Nazi. Among the recipients was Serhiy Korokik, a Belarusian national, to whom Mr. Poroshenko awarded Ukrainian citizenship, praising his courageous and selfless service. Experts who follow the far right have strongly objected to President Poroshenko's decision. They say Korokik was a member of the far-right Russian National Unity Party and also a founding member of the neo-Nazi National Socialist Society, NSS, in Russia. According to Ukrainian academic Anton Shekhovtsov, the NSS's main goal is to prepare for a race war. Shekhovtsov said the Belarusian had been charged for involvement in a bombing in central Moscow in 2007, and was detained in 2013 in the Belarusian capital Minsk for allegedly stabbing an anti-fascist activist. He was later released for lack of evidence. As Korokik's case demonstrates, the ultranationalists have proven to be effective and dedicated fighters in the brutal war in the East against Russian-backed separatists and Russian forces, whose numbers also include a large contingent from Russia's far right. As a result, they have achieved a level of acceptance, even though most Ukrainians are unfamiliar with their actual beliefs. The volunteer Azov Battalion is a case in point. The Azov Battalion seems to enjoy the support of several top officials. Run by the extremist Patriot of Ukraine organization, which considers Jews and other minorities subhuman and calls for a white, Christian crusade against them, it sports 3 Nazi symbols on its insignia, a modified wolf's hook, a black sun, or Haken sun, and the title Black Corps, which was used by the Waffen-SS. Azov is just one of more than 50 volunteer groups fighting in the East, the vast majority of which are not extremist, yet it seems to enjoy special backing from some top officials. Interior Minister Arsen Avakov and his deputy Anton Gerashenko actively supported the parliament candidacy of Andriy Bielitsky, the Azov and Patriot of Ukraine commander. Vadim Troyan, another top Azov official and Patriot of Ukraine member, was recently named police chief for the Kiev region. Korokik is also an Azov member. Are you starting to get the picture yet? Essentially, the Ukrainian government's political terror machine backed with the support of the United States is moving to crush any free-thinking small shoots of independent opinion and any evaluations of current events, made on their own by political parties, public organizations, journalists, or writers. Hiding behind the cover of slogans about European values, democracy, and the rule of law, in reality, the institutions of state power in Ukraine are acting through law enforcement agencies and neo-Nazi battalions, to carry out a systematic destruction of any dissidents. Read more, press corps erupts in protest over lack of access to White House. Not only did the Ukraine admit to these crimes, but they openly bragged about kidnapping others who dare criticize the state. A security service of Ukraine, SBU, spokesman confirmed that the Kurbatova was detained by the organization's operatives, and will be deported from Ukraine to Russia, while threatening similar treatment for anyone who dares speak the truth about the Ukrainian neo-Nazi regime. Russian propagandist Anna Kurbatova will be forcibly returned to the Russian Federation. Ukraine is a constitutional state, its security services operate strictly within the legal framework. All necessary documents for her deportation are being prepared at the moment. It will happen to everyone who dares to smear Ukraine, the spokesperson said in a Facebook post. Russian Human Rights Commissioner, Tatyana Moskakova, contacted her Ukrainian counterpart, following the snatch and grab of Kurbatova, to determine whether the security services are operating within the rule of law. I've just sent a request to my colleague Valeria Lukyanova asking her about the location of the journalist, her health condition and the consular visit, i.e. whether all the conventions are being observed if she has been detained by law enforcement, Moskakova told Interfax. I'm outraged and deeply worried about the treatment of journalists. Freedom of speech is protected not only by states' constitutions, but also by international legal acts. Journalists worldwide are independent and have immunity. An SBU spokesperson later confirmed that the Russian journalist had been forcibly deported. Russian propagandist Anna Kurbatova, against whom a decision of forcible deportation from Ukraine was made, has crossed the Ukrainian-Russian border. She is barred from entering the territory of our country for 3 years, an SBU spokesperson added. Read more, World Media Watchdog, Truthful Media in Decline, a new era of propaganda is upon us. Prior to her kidnapping and deportment, Kurbatova had received death threats connected to her reporting and was placed on a list of enemies of Ukraine on a website that lists journalists the neo-Nazi regime accuses of anti-Ukrainian propaganda and manipulating socially important information. Additionally, just prior to her being snatched by the SBU, Kurbatova had been working on a report highlighting the ill treatment of journalists in Ukraine, which has not yet aired. As noted previously, in early August, another journalist, Tamara Narizhayan, reporting for the All Russia State Television and Radio Broadcasting Company, VGTRK, was deported following a very similar incident. I was detained in the street and promptly brought to the main SBU office, where I was questioned for 3 hours. They confiscated my phone, it was done very roughly, nearly breaking my arms. Following the questioning they read me a resolution of the SBU that I would be deported and barred from re-entry for 3 years, Narizhayan told Rossiya 24 TV channel. Make no mistake that the US is willing to fund and arm anyone that forwards their geopolitical interests, whether neo-Nazis in Ukraine or Al-Qaeda's army in Syria, Jabhat al-Nusra. Under the guise of spreading democracy and freedom, the US continually supports some of the most extremist elements in the world. The US obviously operates under the treatise of the enemy of my enemy is my friend, in a continual struggle to embolden American hegemony, while attempting to propagandize their own citizens into supporting these radical elements by calling them freedom fighters or moderate rebels. Please share this important information to wake others up to the dangerous game of supporting extremist elements being played by the United States government. Read more, here's how to honor the fallen this Memorial Day by exposing the warmongering lies of government.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts. 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So, yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, what we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself. 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So, if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not, they're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that, that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now, where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran in, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran in no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.